Did some study on why we do not have joy in our churches, why we do not have joy in our congregation. And to put it in a nutshell, this one psychologist said that we cannot have joy in our current society is because we live in such fear. And he says that the emotion of fear and joy cannot exist together. We cannot feel total joy and total fear at the same time. And today, I want to kind of help you build joy in your life. And we can't do it in one sermon. It is a long journey to joy. It is something that I am still working on. It is something that the Lord is still working through me. But I believe that all of us in this room desire to be joyful. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be moody. I don't want to be cranky. I don't want to be unpredictable in the sense that you don't know what you're going to get when you ask me for a favor or ask me how I'm doing. I don't want to be that kind of person. And I know that deep down inside, you don't want to be that kind of person. I know you don't. So today, I want to share on building joy one layer at a time. Or for some of us who don't like the whole building analogy, you can think about joy as a journey, joyful journey. Okay? In the book of Habakkuk, it is in the Bible, in chapter 3, the prophet says, even though the fig trees have no blossoms and there are no grapes on the vine, even though the olive crop fails and the fields lie empty and barren, even though the flocks die in the fields and the cattle barns are empty, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will be joyful in the God of my salvation. The sovereign Lord is my strength. He will make me as sure-footed as a deer and bring me safely over the mountains. And the reason I share this passage with you is because the prophet Habakkuk is talking about all these threats or hostilities to life, all these fears. How does he overcome these fears? The barn being empty, the bank being broke. How does he overcome these fears? He says, I will have joy in the Lord. I will have joy in the Lord. And the first way to build joy one layer at a time is that we need the right foundation. Many of our lives are built on crooked, shady, shoddy foundation. What is your life built on today? What is the very foundation or the crux? Where does your life reside? Ask yourself right now, what is my life built upon? We all know that if you can build a magnificent house, but if you build it upon sand, that house ain't worth nothing. But yet you can build a very mediocre house, but if it is on sure-footed foundation, then it will last a long time, and it is worth buying. It is something that has value. And the right foundation, according to the Apostle John and many other authors in the Bible, is that the right foundation for joy is when our spiritual journey is joyful when it is built upon the reality of Jesus Christ. When I was younger, my life foundation was built upon the reality of Wu-Tang Clan. Okay, that might be kind of funny to you guys. Some of you don't know who Wu-Tang Clan is. They were a rap group back in the day. Come from Shaolin, New York. Right? Some of you guys know that. From the slums of Shaolin, right? Wu-Tang. And not only was my life foundation built upon Wu-Tang Clan, it was built upon Jay-Z. It was built upon the reality of DMX, the reality of Big Timers, the reality, all these people, all these rappers. And my life was built upon the reality through their eyes. Now, I want to ask you guys really quick, what is your life reality built upon? Because if it's not built upon the reality of Jesus Christ, which John is saying, I touched him, I heard him, I spoke to him. If it's not built upon that kind of reality, that I have met Jesus Christ and I know him, maybe not perfectly, but I know him. If your life is not built upon that kind of reality, then you are living in a fantasy. In our effort to escape reality, because that's why we love entertainment so much, we are amusing ourselves to death. And we love entertainment and iPod and iPhone and all. We like to be distracted because a lot of us like to escape reality. In our effort to escape reality, we are now captured by fantasy, unable to determine one from the other. Y'all heard me out here? Let me say that one more time. In our effort to escape reality, we have now been captured by fantasy, unable to determine one from the other. And therefore, we cannot possess joy, because joy is always focused. Joy is always determined. Joy is constituted by reality. And what is the reality that Jesus offers? The abundant life. Not bigger cars, not fancier homes, not the hottest girl or guy, but that in your reality, Jesus tells us that for a Christian, joy is set before us. Joy is at the center of our lives. And all our struggles, everybody in life struggles, but struggles become the peripheral. Struggles are peripheral in our lives, and joy is at the center. A lot of us drive, right? So you can understand that you don't want to stare at your peripheral mirrors the whole time. You feel me? You stare at what is before you, the biggest windshield in the car, the biggest window in the car. You don't focus on the peripheral. It's fractional compared to what's before you. And for the Christian, to give a driving illustration, it is the joy set before him, like Jesus said. Why'd he die? Why'd he die on the cross? Because of the joy set before him. And for Jesus Christ, that joy was to see us know him and worship him gladly. I don't know what your reality is in today, but if you are a non-Christian, here's the problem. Why you probably can't have joy, while you are equivocating in your life. It is because, unlike the Christian, your struggles and hardships are the main focus of your life. It is the biggest windshield. And joy or happiness becomes peripheral. And that's what John's talking about today. There is a Greek playwright by the name of, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but it's Aeschylus. And he says this: there is no pain so great as the memory of joy in present grief. Let me say that one more time. There is no pain so great as the memory of joy in present grief. What he's basically saying is that there's no pain worse than remembering the good old times when you're in a present trouble. But the Christian does not have to feel that, because the best is always yet to come. That's the reality of a Christian, of a Christ follower, that the best is always yet to come. And that's why the writer of the hymn, "It is well with my soul," lost his family in one moment in a boat accident, but he was able to pen the words, "It is well with my soul," because he knew that the best was yet to come. You cannot have joy and hope without that promise, without that reality. If you believe that the best has passed you by, like college is the best years of your life, and then you look back, there is no deeper pain when you're 30 or 40 than think about college and realize my best years have gone. That grief will stain you. But for the Christian, joy is set before him. It is center, not peripheral. And she always knows, hallelujah, that the best is yet to come. No matter how extraordinary my life or how befuddling my life has been, the best is yet to come. So we need the right foundation. We have to see through the eyes of Jesus. And I encourage you, my young friends, not to let your past govern you. You understand me? Don't let your past govern you. I know some of you did some nasty stuff and messed up stuff in the past, but don't let those things govern you, because you will never have joy with that kind of guilt. And some of us are so focused on the uncertainties of life that shackle you, that you can never enjoy the present.